following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network. Imagine a place where mental health, resilience, sports, and the power to never give up all come together. This show is about life. It's about mental health. It's about bouncing back stronger than ever. This is Reset and Rise to the Unbreakable with Amanda Moore.
All right, everybody. So tonight's going to be a little bit different. Usually this guy is behind the scenes, producing, keeping everything running, probably judging me silently half the time. But tonight, I'm going to put him on the hot seat. So I'm going to bring in Rob, or he's going to bring himself in, I guess is what we can say. And we're going to try not to make this awkward at all while I interview him. So Rob, if you want to bring yourself in, we'll get started.
Ta-da! I'm here.
Well, anyways, we're going to put you in the hot seat. Are you good with that?
I took his Xanax, so yes, I'm good.
Well, welcome to your own interview. I'm very proud of you. I'm going to try not to make it awkward, as I said. So let's start here, and let's be honest. Are you more nervous producing me or being interviewed by me right now?
Is that a loaded question, or I don't ever get nervous. I guess I've just been doing this for long enough, but it's different being on this side, getting asked the questions. So I am a little bit nervous about that. It's also because of the fact that I'm going to be telling my life story.
Yeah.
In a condensed version. So.
Well, I appreciate that.
There you go. I'm nervous.
I'll be honest with you. When I do a live video, like on the private Facebook group page I did earlier, I get really nervous, but I don't get nervous for the podcast anymore as much as I used to.
Okay.
So I guess I do, but not as bad. With you, I'm not nervous at all. It's like two friends just chit-chatting it out. So
that's all it is. Yeah. You get to
anyways.
So I mean that's a good thing.
Yeah. And Chuck Ritchie says hi or
Hello,
howdy.
Chuckles.
Hi, Chuckles. And for the people listening, what's something oh yeah, the tape. What's something they don't realize about what you actually do behind the scenes?
I don't know if people know how much work goes into putting a show together, like, especially since I have so many other projects. I'm doing Liberty or Death as well, which is my Christian conservative podcast. That is a ton of editing. We record offline, and I include a ton of screenshots and clips and stuff and proof, facts, to back up the stuff we're talking about. Holy cow, I have like 8 episodes in the can, and I've only edited 2 of them.
And you have Straight Up 5 podcast.
Straight Up 5
with Todd McGill.
Yep, which is our bowling program that I do live every Wednesday-ish. Thursday.
That's how that podcast is how this podcast got started.
Yep,
so.
And that's how we met and started talking to each other as well. So, and I do all the promotion for that. I've gotten all the guests for the last 4 years for that, promoting it, putting out the clips online. And then with you, the same thing. And I'm glad you helped me promote it because there's a lot of work. But doing the YouTube reels and the shorts and all that, TikToks and all that, it's quite a bit of work putting together promotion for a show. Mm-hmm. And thank God you get all the guests too, because if I had to do all that, I don't know, I would go crazy. But
some days it drives me nuts. Like today.
I just think it's just, we're just gonna get on get on a Zoom call or whatever and just talk about stuff. Which, that's part of what we do. But the other part is getting the guests, doing the promotions, doing the trailers that I do for the show. So there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah, and like I said, I made a live video earlier in our private Facebook group, and this episode in particular was supposed to be another veteran who has canceled on me twice, and it's always been last minute, and it's very frustrating when that happens because people don't realize how much work goes into it. I mean, I contact yes, you do try to help, Chuck. Thank you. But I reach out to the guests the week before they're supposed to be on, make sure we get everything we're supposed to get for you to do the trailers and me to do the promotional stuff. And keep in contact with them, and some of them are booked at least 2 to 3 months out. So I am constantly in my calendar, and sometimes I feel like I need an administrative assistant because I work a full-time job as well and have bowling and, other things going on. So 'tis life. But here's the thing, your story didn't start behind a mic. It started with you literally fighting to be here. You were born premature, barely a few pounds, 3 pounds, 7 ounces, if I don't recall, correct?
3 pounds, 6 ounces, but
6
that's close,
ounces.
close enough.
And doctors weren't even sure you were gonna make it through the night. So growing up hearing that, did it ever hit you like, wow, I wasn't even supposed to be here?
It did, especially knowing that I was supposed to have 2 twin sisters as well
Oh, wow.
that passed away shortly after birth.
Wow.
So I ended up being an only child. And I'm not sure how early I was born. It may have been 2 or 3 months. But yeah, 3 pounds, 6 ounces. They put me in ICU in an incubator, which actually is funny. It left scars on above my eyebrows. I have 2 little scars because they put tape over my eyes because I kept staring at the lights in the incubator.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's just a weird thing.
Do you think that shaped how you look at life now?
That's a good question. I never really thought about that. Yeah, I get, yeah, you could say that. Wow, I didn't expect. I don't know how to answer that. I didn't
I
expect.
told you I had good questions for you.
No, that was a really good question. Yeah, like I don't know why my 2 sisters didn't make it and why I did. Um, and all these years later, oh, excuse me, I just had some gas from dinner. Oh God, I had Panda Express for dinner and it was so spicy.
Oh,
So hopefully I don't have to hit a bathroom break here in a minute. But I try to do good with my life because, and we'll get into when I got saved and all that and became a Christian. But for many, many years, I was, and to some extent, I'm still selfish. Being an only child, it's kind of something you never really grow out of. But um, yeah, given the fact I really wasn't supposed to make it, I have tried to do the best with what I've been given,
yeah.
which I wasn't always dealt the greatest hand. So
Well, I maybe have to look to you for some introspective advice at some point because my son is an only child.
yeah,
Sometimes I wonder, I worry as a mother, like, um, when I pass away and his dad's passed away and his grandparents he's really close to have passed away, like who does I want him to have his own family, but if that never happens, he seems pretty independent. And I mean, he's going to be 19 in June, so God only knows what the future is in store for his future, but
yeah.
it's the what ifs. So now I want to fast forward a little bit though with your story because somehow that same kid ends up finding something he's actually good at, which was bowling.
Yeah.
So do you remember the moment it clicked for you with bowling?
I know I was like 6 years old. And my parents were both bowlers. My mom worked at Bradley Bowl in Windsor Locks, Connecticut, which used to be a routine stop on the PBA Tour. And she ended up working there as well. And I remember her putting me in a summer league. And for whatever reason, I don't have, it's hard for me to kind of remember the early days. I've blocked a lot of stuff out due to trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of great memories as a kid. But I do remember bowling in a junior league that summer at 6 years old or so. And our team ended up winning. I bowled with a kid that was, that went to school with me. And yeah, from then on out, I just fell in love with it. They tried to put me in soccer. I did that for a couple of years. I hated it. I hate the run. I don't care how, how good a shape I'm in. Never was a runner. I always wanted to bowl. So at one point we did soccer in the summer and then I couldn't wait to get in, into the summer, and I couldn't wait for the fall league to start because I just love bowling that much. So had really good success early on.
Yeah.
Won some city tournaments, had high averages, had high scores in the leagues, had a ton of trophies somewhere in the attic. But yeah, that's my earliest memory is bowling in a summer league at 6.
Yeah. Just off subject a second. Nolan wants to know, were the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park real?
I'll ask your mom.
Burn.
How do you like that, Nolan?
Take that, Nolan. We love you, Nolan.
All right. Anyway.
Like, so when it went from this is fun back to bowling, this is fun to, oh, I might actually be really good at this. When did that happen for you? What age, or do you remember when that occurred?
Probably happened around, I think around 10 or so. And I started bowling the Junior Bowlers Tour, the JBTs.
Mhm.
And the first one I bowled in was at my home center, Bradley Bowl. And I ended up finishing third. I bowled against Billy Halota, who was it was his final year on the tour at 18. And I think I only lost by like 20 pins.
Oof.
Yeah, but
That's literally 2 strikes. Why couldn't you do it?
I know, right? I think I missed a 7-pin.
What's
Was
wrong
like
with
one
you?
of the worst parts. But yeah, no, I mean, just 10-year-old kid against 18-year-old kid. I mean, what do you expect to happen? But I mean, I did as well as I could back then. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to start doing more of this. So we continued bowling, the JBTs. We went to the Showboat Atlantic City for a JBT, which was really fun. That was a really cool place to bowl. And yeah, just continued in the junior leagues till I was 18.
Wow.
Finally won a JBT when I was 18.
Yeah, that was your first big win, right?
Yeah, my first big win with the Forest Green Quantum that I
You still
actually
have that ball, right?
still have the ball in my garage. It still works. It hasn't cracked. It's like 30 years old.
Now, you're not supposed to say that out loud.
I mean, new balls aren't made the same
I
anymore.
literally said that same thing like 2 weeks before my Effect Tour cracked. I was like, "I've never had a ball crack."
Never. And I
Whoopsie.
literally have had it in, like, growing up in Connecticut, had it in my trunk in the winter, in the summer, had it out in the shed, like had it in my garage. It's been to like two different states, and it still stays in the elements, and it's
Ah,
never cracked. The same with
I
my
cr
Teal Rhino Pro.
I cringe when I hear people tell me that they leave their bowling balls in their vehicles all year round.
We did. That's
That
just
is
what we did
so
back then. Like nobody,
ugh,
there was no
that's
internet back then.
oh
So
my gosh, so bad.
but yeah, I won my first tournament with that ball, which actually won in a raffle, which was funny. I never paid for it.
Did that build confidence in you, or did it start putting pressure on you?
It did, because I was about to leave the junior leagues, and I'm like, all right, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So I entered the scratch world with my stepdad and a few friends from there, from Bradley, and we did a team event in Vernon Lanes in Vernon, Connecticut. And I was only averaging like 180, and I'm bowling with 220, 230 bowlers. It's like,
Rob, I have a
yeah,
bone to pick with you.
oh boy.
Chuck is telling me you have an Effect Tour you haven't drilled yet. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's in my closet.
Get that thing drilled. That was literally that out of the whole Effect line. The full Effect is on its way to me as soon as Joe and Phil and New York get it done at Custom Thumbs. You will love that ball. You need to get it
I know.
drilled.
I don't have a job. I can't afford to do
Oh my gosh, we'll start
frivolous
a we'll
stuff
s-
like
we'll
bowling.
remember what Brunsnick said when he was on here? We're gonna start an only bowlers fan
We do.
club. We're gonna get you some money to get that drilled. You
Need
need
to
to
go
get it
fund me so I can
drilled.
start bowling. I want to start bowling again, but no, I don't have money for that. So
Well, we'll figure it out. Me
yeah,
and Chuck will do some digging.
okay.
We'll
All
get
right.
you help. We'll get you some help.
I got shoes. I
Um,
got shoes right back there on my shelf. I got the ball. I'm ready to go. I just don't have the money to drill it.
well, with the bowling ball that you won, your first big win with, that's not just a bowling ball. That's a whole memory sitting in your garage, isn't it?
Yes, and that's probably why I can't get rid of it. And it
Yeah.
still works. I swear to God, I can still throw it out there and shoot about 220 with it.
I know how that feels. I'm a very sensitive person, but when my Effect Tour cracked that night in league, I literally was trying to hold back tears because
That's
you get really invested with a ball when you win
mhm.
multiple things or even win one thing with it. It's something you never want to give away because it holds a fond memory to you, especially if it was something like yours, like a first big win. That's something that's hard to, I guess, get away from or just release it into the wild like it never happened.
And the Teal Rhino Pro I got from work in the PBA truck when they came into town, helping them unload, and it was Ricky Ward's
Oh, wow.
Teal Pro that I plugged up and re-drilled. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
he was
Well,
good
like
for years. I
your
miss
life wasn't all wins during that time.
no.
So now we're going to hit the hard stuff. Your parents divorced when you were young and everything shifted. So you went from being an only child to suddenly not having your own space, your own routine, your own normal. What did that do to you at that age?
I mean, it was devastating. Um, So I remember I was either 12 or 13. And we were at the bowling alley. We had bowled leagues, and then we were just kind of playing. They had like a huge nursery that my friends and I used to like go wrestle in because we're big wrestling fans as well. And both my parents came to pick me up, which my dad was like never there on Saturdays. He worked a lot. So it was kind of weird that both of them showed up to pick me up. So picked me up and brought me home. And I had heard them fighting, behind closed doors for a while. So I kind of knew that something was going on. But I didn't think, what was going to happen was going to happen. So they brought me home and sat me down. And my mom said, I got to go away for a while. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what's wrong? She's like, your dad and I aren't really getting along. So I'm going to go live with your aunt. I said, okay. To me, it felt open-ended, like, okay, she's just going to go for a while and, we'll see what happens. And maybe
How old were you when this happened?
either
Again?
12 or 13. I think it was
Okay.
12, somewhere
Okay.
around there. She ended up going living with my aunt, which is about 30, 40 minutes away. And I stay with my dad because that's where I grew up. And they didn't want to take me out of the house and my school and leave all my friends and all that. So she lived with her aunt until she could find another place of her own to stay. That was real kind of weird. I'm sorry, I was 13. I was 13 when it happened because I remember it was in the winter time. Okay, yeah, I was 13. Anyway, I've tried to block a lot of the stuff out.
Well, when you're around that age, kids at that age, I mean, even younger kids are intuitive enough, but you're obviously at an age where you can catch on if the dynamic in the household has changed. So when they told you about that, you kind of had a sense something was going on, but were you still devastated? And I mean, obviously you're devastated, but were you shocked, or did you kind of know something like that was going to be happening? And so you were kind of mentally preparing for it
No,
at
I had
some
no
point?
idea. I had no idea it was that bad. I mean, I was still young and naive enough to not really know what was going on.
Hmm.
Like I said, I thought she was going to come back, and she never did. So I ended up going up there to visit her on the weekends until she got her own place about 5 minutes away in Windsor Locks, and spent time with her on the weekends there. So yeah, it was a huge adjustment, not knowing what was going to happen in the future. And my dad worked a lot, so I mean, I spent most of my time with my mom.
Yeah.
So I was super close to her.
Yeah. So did you at that point have a closer relationship with your mother or your father, or was it kind of you were split between? Sometimes children pick one side or the other.
Um, I mean, I really enjoyed going over, to her place and hanging out with her. Uh,
Yeah.
for reasons that we'll probably get into here in a minute of what my dad did as a rebound, bringing in somebody that we knew from the bowling alley, and started dating her while they were separated. And she had 3 kids. She had a 13-year-old daughter, a 8 or 9-year-old boy, and they had a newborn that was only like 1 or 2.
Oh
So
my gosh.
after being an only child, my mom just left, and now I have this family moving into my house,
Yeah.
and I had to give up my room for the girl so she could have her own room, and then they put me in our larger spare room with their son. So not only that, am I losing my room? I had to share a room with a kid that was 4 or 5 years younger than me. So it was really
Did that relationship continue to last for a period of time, or was it just something that was, like you said, like a rebound relationship?
it was about 2 years that I had to go through that. About 2 or 3 years.
Did that cause a lot of resentment for you towards your dad?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine so, because I think a lot of people, what they don't realize in those moments that they stick with you forever.
Yep.
So when we first started this podcast, episode 1, I go in pretty good depth about a good portion of my life. And I'm like you, where there was a lot of negative, so much negative that happened when I was younger that I blocked it out. So there's certain things that I remember, but I don't want to talk about.
Yep.
But now I have talked about, obviously. Um, or this podcast wouldn't have been where it's at. And then there's certain things you block out. Like you'll remember certain things, but you try to block out the negative because there's so much resentment and I want to say hate and just disgust and sadness that goes along with it. It's not really something you want to hold on to forever. I've had to, I don't know. I'm assuming at some point you're like me where you had to learn to forgive. You don't ever really forget it, but you have to forgive to move on. Otherwise you can't go through life in a healthy manner.
Still dealing with that.
Yeah, I know we've talked about that. So
40
do you
years
feel,
later, so like I'm still dealing with that.
yeah. Do you feel like you had to grow up faster than you should have because of that situation?
I did, because after that whole relationship was gone, let's just put me at say 16, so still in school. And dad worked second shift, so I had to get myself up, get ready for school. You know, I had to cook for myself. I had to learn how to cook, had to learn how to take care of my own, do my laundry and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of missed out on a lot of my teenage years just dealing with all this angst and anxiety. And there was one point where I met my mom's, when I'm 13, 14, I'm like, I don't want to go home. Like it sucks so much. Like I hate it there.
Mhm.
It's my house, but I felt like it wasn't my house anymore because his family had invaded it.
Mhm.
And my dad is so selfish. All he cared about was himself and what he was doing. Like he didn't even care what was going on with me. Never even asked me, to be honest.
You probably could have gotten away with a lot at that point if
Mhm,
you wanted to.
mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, he never even asked me, "Is it okay if they move in with us?" Like, I never even had a choice. Like, not that he would have cared anyway, but at least have the decency to ask your kid, like after everything you've put him through.
Yeah.
And
You're at an age where your voice should have mattered.
he's a big reason why my parents divorced to begin with because and I have very few happy memories of them together. And we're talking the first 12, 13 years of my life. Like literally can't.
The foundation years.
Yeah, I have like fleeting moments of some fun stuff that we did, but I don't really remember them together, which is complete. Like my brain just shut down. Like it just couldn't handle it. But he was very cold to my mom when she lost her two girls. And I guess maybe that was his way of dealing with it, but she was going through the worst thing they could ever imagine. And he was just kind of cold and shut off and didn't really.
Do you think he was just emotionally detached or emotionally immature to where you didn't know how to handle it? Some people don't process emotions and feelings like other people do, so they shut
Right.
down because they don't know what to say and they don't feel they have the right words, so their version of helping is just not saying anything when actually that sometimes that can be okay, but that person will still be there in a physical aspect for somebody with a hug or trying to help out around the house or do something, but from what you've told me, it sounds like he just completely shut out in every which way.
I've never talked to him about it, so to get his side of the story, and
Mhm.
I
Maybe
probably
you should do
should.
that. That might help you heal a little
Yeah,
bit.
I should do that at one point, because there are two sides to every story. But just going by what my mom had told me, like, yeah, like he wasn't there for her emotionally. Um, so I don't know why, and I will have to find that out because I am curious as well. So that kind of soured the relationship very, very early on.
Mhm.
Um, but in any event, so one of the coolest for me at the time because I was young, but kind of messed up when I look at it now. So my mom, and she's watching, but I mean, it is what it is. Had left and dated somebody that was 7 years older than me that I was pretty good friends with because he worked at the bowling alley. So I always looked up to him. So they started dating and eventually got married, and they've been married longer than my parents were married. So it's been since 91 or so, I believe they got married, 1991. So it's quite a long time.
Mhm.
And at the time it was cool. Like, we had the same interests because we're so close in age.
It's like
Uh,
having a big brother.
Almost, but he's my stepdad. So I mean, he was a big wrestling fan. He got me into all kinds of music. Like, he's a big glam band fan. So Poison, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, like got me into all that kind of music. We watched wrestling, we played video games together. So I loved going over there and hanging out with him because, like, yeah, it was so, we're so close in age. But they were 20 years apart,
Yeah.
which you don't think about now. But, when she's going to be 80 in a few years and he's going to be 60, it's a big difference, right?
I've had that conversation with people before. I've been married to somebody that was 5 years older, not really big deal. 10 years older, when you're our age and you're mid-30s, and then you hit your 40s, you start thinking like, oh crap, they're going to be retired before I'm even thinking about retirement. And then
Right.
when they're older, then what's going to happen? And so
Yep.
that's such a controversial subject, sorry, on the age range and age gap of people dating. You see these things all the time on social media of like, is this acceptable? And it's like a 70-year-old dating a 26-year-old or a 60-year-old
Mhm.
dating a 20-something-year-old. I'm like, to me personally, um, I think it's disgusting, but that's because I couldn't do it. Like
Yeah.
to me, if a female is with somebody that is that much significantly older, they obviously have to have money
Right.
because
Right.
there's no other reason for it, to be honest with you.
So my wife's grandmother, on her mom's side, her grandfather was like 30 years older than her grandma.
Oof.
Like she was like, I think she was 15 when she met him, and he was like almost 40 or something like close to that.
Yeah,
So
when you put it like that, when you're like, God, you were 10 and I wasn't even a sperm yet.
right,
When you
yeah,
put it like that, that's what makes it sound creepy.
that is a little bit weird.
Oh, well, anyways, if you could go back and talk to that version of yourself at the 13-year-old age, to 16 and going through all of that, especially with your father, what would you say to the version of you back then?
I would say I would have told myself to get closer to God. Like I would have said, and I grew up in a church. I grew up at Living Waters Fellowship Church in Windsor Locks, and we had a tremendous pastor. Um, so amazing. Who just I believe he just passed away from dementia a couple years ago.
Oh, that's sad.
So I had that foundation, which I'm glad because my dad never went to church when I was a kid. So my mom took me to church. So I have to pay her respect and give her credit for kind of planting the seeds early on. But I mean, I didn't get saved, and truly accept Christ as my savior
Yeah.
until well into my 30s. But I would go back and say, hey man, like this sucks. You're gonna have to go through it. Pray on it, pray on it, pray on it, pray on it. Ask the Lord for guidance, ask the Lord for help. Help him get you through this because he will take care of you. And he did take care of me, even though I wasn't close to him. Thankfully. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'd just be like, man, look, there's brighter things coming up in the future. You just gotta get through it, man. Like, and a lot of stuff like that makes us tougher, makes us able to persevere. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm selfish. I'm an only child. I've played the victim card for many, many years, and in still some ways I do. Like, I'm still traumatized from everything. Like, I haven't talked to a therapist about it, which is just a pride thing of my own. I don't like talking to other people about stuff like that.
Yeah, but through all of that, you had one person that stayed consistent, which was your best friend.
Yeah.
And almost 40 years later, and you're still close. That is rare. Like to have a best friend for that long is rare. But what made that friendship different for you?
Um, sorry, I'm gonna.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's he's the only one that's been there and never left me and never questioned anything, and it's always been there, no questions asked. It's so
Uh-oh.
um oop, we lost me.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we lost you for a second. I could hear you."
It's so rare to have somebody like that, and I've had lots of really really good friends that have come and gone, which is really unfortunate. But he's literally, other than my wife, has been the only constant for so long. And we met bowling when I was 12, and we were bowling on different teams. But when we bowled against each other, we just started to talk, and he was a big wrestling fan like me, and we both had just gotten our Nintendos, so we were like instantly like literally, it's almost like love at first sight, no homo. But it really was. He's a soulmate. Like, he doesn't have to be, your person doesn't have to be anything sexually related. Like, he's my person.
Yeah.
He's
And
my
does
guy.
he live close by you, or is he?
He did. We both grew up in Connecticut. He lived a couple towns away. Since I moved to Tennessee, he actually moved to South Carolina. So he's about 6 hours away. So I see him a few times a year, but we talk all the time. He watches all my streams, my video game streams. But just having sleepovers and like trading Nintendo games and watching wrestling, and we get a couple bags of Doritos and we just sit down on a Saturday night and just watch wrestling. It's like, those are the memories that I cherish. And now, like, literally, God, was it 38 years or so later? We're still best friends. He's my family. Like, I literally don't consider him my best friend anymore. Like, he's my brother, and he's black, so some people may think that's weird.
It's not weird. It's not weird.
He is my family. Literally my go-to guy. I honestly trust him more than my wife, because he is never, ever, ever, no matter all the dumb stuff I've done, even to him sometimes, he's still there. Like, he got me jobs. He was my manager at Burger King for a while. He had a real issue, ended up losing his house and lived with me for a couple of years. Like, no matter what, like, we're each other's persons, people.
Do you think he helped keep you grounded through everything that you've been through?
He did, because his parents also got divorced, and he had a sister, and his mom was working multiple jobs to try to make ends meet, while his dad ran away with somebody else, and was never around. And he was younger than me when that happened, so we had that in common as well. So we kind of understood, how to deal with all that stuff. So he really helped me through all that, and even if it's just going over his house and just escaping whatever's going on in my house, or he'd come over to my house and he would just hang out with me while everybody else in the house was doing their own thing. So yeah, without him, I honestly don't know what would have happened to me. Who knows? I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people like me, I didn't find my best friend till I moved out here. Like, I had friends, but I didn't really know what a true best friend meant till I moved out here and got involved in the bowling community. And I'm same as you. I've had that best friend for, it's got to be close to 10 years, maybe more, probably 12.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the one. And when I say best friend, there's so many people now, they're like, oh, they're my friend. They're my friend. They're my friend.
Right.
I'm like, but do you even know what a friend is? And then let alone a best friend. Obviously your spouse is supposed to be your best friend. Some people don't have that. Some people do. I think that if you're going to be with a spouse, they should be your friend. They should be a priority. But to have a best friend is somebody you can call in the middle of the night that would drop everything for you if you needed them, and would travel if need be.
Yeah.
My best friend happens to live just across the canyon, 15 minutes away. But they're there for you. I think the best thing about a best friend is they're non-judgmental. They can give you criticism in a constructive way, but they also show tough love, and they'll tell you the things that you don't want to hear that you need to hear.
Yep.
And they'll be there through your worst. And even if you treat them terribly, they'll forgive you. You guys apologize, you hash it out, and you move forward.
That's right.
I bet a best friend, it's not just all butterflies and rainbows and sunshine and all the crap people put on social media about how awesome their lives are and how many things they do with their best friend. I mean, best friends go through crap just like a relationship. They go through tests and trials to figure each other out. So if you find somebody like that, it doesn't matter how far away they live or how often you talk. You could talk. My best friend, we could talk like once every 6 months and pick back up right where we left off.
Exactly.
We both have busy schedules, but we try to do a lunch at least. There for a little bit, it was 6 months, but we meet up every once in a while and catch up. I don't know. It's just best friends are special.
Yeah.
So if you have one, hold them close, just like you do your family, because they are family.
I mean, he comes over a year for Super Bowl. He comes to my daughter's birthday party every year. Drives over her.
That's awesome.
He doesn't have his own car. He works from home a lot, and he doesn't have a need to.
Yeah.
But he'll literally rent a car and just drive 6 hours over and hang out with us for a weekend. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's be real for a second. When people go through stuff like what you went through in your childhood, they usually find a way to cope. So for you, that showed up as drinking pretty young, right? What
Yep,
age?
16.
Yeah, what age did you start drinking? You said 16.
Yep.
What were you trying to escape from back then that you picked up drinking?
I had a I had a friend that I bowled with that liked to drink, and I don't. Maybe subliminally it was a coping thing, but it was just me like being a rebellious teenager. Especially with all the stuff I had to go through. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I did use it as a way to escape, and I just never really thought about it that way. But his name was Phil. I went over his house, and he lived with his grandparents, and they let us drink as long as we stayed in the house. So we just stayed in his room and just drank beers and listened to Metallica and just kind of chilled out. And then had to go bowl the next morning with a hangover, which was real fun.
So did you drink to get drunk, or did you drink just
Drank to get drunk? Yeah, I like the feeling. Yeah, it was. I liked the way it made me feel. And we'd go to various parties around Suffield, Connecticut, and I hung out with a lot of his friends. Whenever somebody's parents went away, it's keg party time. So there's always something going on. So yeah, we did that quite a bit. Even even when my dad went away, I'd throw parties at the house. Like we had a week-long party. I mean, it was just people don't even know, like all over the place, which is so stupid now because if anything ever happened, my dad would have been liable if somebody would have died on the property or, gotten in an accident and killed somebody on the way home. But back then you're a teenager. You don't think about stuff like that. You don't think about repercussions and all that. You're just having fun, right? You're just trying to get laid and meet a bunch of friends. So those are some fun times, man. Like, but even though I do have an addictive personality, I didn't ever get addicted to drinking. Like I didn't skip school and just drink beers all day. I did it socially. I wouldn't drink by myself at all.
So you never considered yourself like an alcoholic or dependent on the alcohol to function?
No, even though like if you want to look at the definition, like if you have more than 3 drinks a year, you're an alcoholic. I don't buy stuff like that. Like you can drink socially.
That's such a crock.
It is.
Like 95% of America are alcoholics then.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, it was fun because obviously we couldn't buy any alcohol, so we had to find a buyer for us. So there's always some friend that we knew, or the brother of a brother of a brother of a friend, that would go get us like a 30-pack of Meisterbrow, which is like $6 a 30-pack, and it's disgusting, but we didn't care. It was free.
Surprised you didn't say like Pabst Blue Ribbon or Keystone.
We did some Pabst. We did Meisterbrow. We did Miller High Life.
The cheap stuff.
The cheap stuff, like cheap vodka, like Pop Off and Doob Off.
Oh.
That was so good.
Please tell me you didn't do like Boone's Farm or any of that crap.
No, we didn't do that. But
or MD, what is it? MD 50/50 or
Mad Dog? Yeah,
Mad
no.
Dog.
Oh, gosh. We didn't. No, we didn't go that far. We didn't drink like anything. Like we had some standards.
I'm glad to hear that.
Like gin, I tried gin. It tasted like Pine Sol to me. It was disgusting. But we love like Goldschlager, and when all the ice beers came out, there was Bud Ice, there was Miller Lite Ice, there was Ice House. So yeah, we tried all those, and yeah, I mean we were just teenagers having fun.
And then you hit 21, and it just wasn't fun anymore, and that's you just stopped drinking, or
yeah, I like we got some alcohol on my birthday just so I can say, hey, here's my ID, and I can purchase it legally. And that was it, really. I maybe would have a drink every now and then. But it wasn't fun anymore because now it's legal, right? Like I can't be rebellious anymore because I'm allowed to do it now. So it wasn't as fun anymore.
Do you drink now?
No.
Do you partake? Nope.
Very rarely, maybe once every couple of years. Like my wife and my daughter go on a trip somewhere. I think I got a bottle of Kahlua that's still in my freezer that I don't even use. I don't drink in front of my kid or with my kid, or I would never, ever, ever do that. I don't even want her to know about it. And
Yeah.
she does know about it. She hates the fact that my mom drinks wine, or my dad's girlfriend, likes to drink wine, or like she gets nervous about it because she gets afraid of it. And that's great. I hope she stays that way.
Yeah.
So no, I would never bring that around her.
Yeah. Well, now this next part might be my favorite that we're going to talk about because somehow, in true late 90s fashion, an Atlanta Braves chat room on AOL turns into your love story with your now wife. So I need to know, what did you say to her in that chat room that sparked interest?
I wish I knew. I
You don't
literally,
remember?
I,
Oh, come on.
it must have. I really don't know, and it's so funny, and she doesn't know either. It's been so long.
Seriously. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you guys have been married how long now?
What year is it? 21 years. We've been together since '98, so we were been together almost 30.
For the love of baseball.
For the love of baseball, which is weird because growing up in the Northeast, I was a Red Sox fan, but being a wrestling fan, WCW was located in Atlanta, and the owner, Ted Turner, owned the Atlanta Braves at the time. So just by default, I became a Braves fan as well. And they were on a real hot streak in the 90s, winning like 15 straight pennants or whatever. So, just AOL, for those that don't know, was like the first kind of online service that you can go on to and get into any kind of chat room you'd want. They had, instant messages, web browsers and all that. And this was in '98. So it was probably a couple of years old at that point, but it was still new technology. And yeah, I just happened to be in the Atlanta Braves chat room. I must have said something that was funny or I don't know, that's something to get her attention.
Putting on the Ritz with the charm there, bud.
I guess so. I mean, I had some swag back then. I was tall and skinny and young, and I had hair. Yeah, I guess I had some moves, some virtual moves. But I like to think that we're one of the true like original love stories, because that's before Match.com and You've Got Mail, like the movie and all that. Like that's before that was a thing.
Leave it to Chuck Ritchie to bring up Chipper Jones.
We both had a crush on Chipper. Chipper was, she loved Javi Lopez. She was a big Javi Lopez guy. But
oh, really? I am a huge Seattle Mariners fan. I will, if anybody ever takes me, if Nate's listening still, to take me to a Mariners game, I will never shut up about it. I want to go to I've never been to a live Mariners game ever. I want to go really bad. I've been to a Seattle Seahawks game, so that's fine. I'm good on that one. But even though I was a Mariners fan, I loved Chipper Jones. Just like now, I'm not a New York Yankees fan, but I absolutely love Aaron Judge. He is one of my favorite baseball players right now. Yeah. Not because of all these other girls are like, oh, he's so cute. No, he's got skills. He is very, very talented.
Yes.
That's why I love sports. Same reason I love bowling. Like, I just love the athletic ability that people have to put in the work and work hard and watch it pay off in real time and come to fruition. It's so incredible to watch. So yeah, I'm glad that baseball brought you guys together, but you went from strangers to long distance to engaged like pretty fast, right?
We did. We ended up, instant messaging after that and talking privately, and just she was a wrestling fan at the time too. So we had a lot.
She checked all the boxes.
Checked all my boxes, yeah, for sure. And back then you'd send somebody a picture of yourself, and we're on like dial-up, or like 56K modem. This is pre-DSL, pre-cable modem, so it took like 15 minutes to like download a picture, and you're like, is that a nose? Is that an elbow? Like, what? It was just so funny. Like, it's a meme now, but
yeah. But like from the time you guys started talking till the time you're engaged, how much time had passed?
Let's see. We officially started dating on June 8th of '98. So, and we got engaged December 12th that year. So
The fact that you remember those dates, she should be really freaking proud of you because most men
yeah,
don't remember dates
it's true.
like
Yeah.
at all. They remember in relationships. It's so funny because people remember the exact date, exact time, everything of when something bad occurred or when you
Right.
said something that pissed them off. But if it was something good, they're like, oh, I don't remember. You know, those memes where they talk about women, they're like, they'll remember something from 25 years ago on this date and this time that I didn't take the dishes and put them in the dishwasher. I mean, it's kind of true. Men do it too. But
Yeah. I have to correct.
anyways,
It was December 17th. December 17th was when we got engaged. And we already talked about it beforehand. She told me what kind of ring she wanted. So I was still living in Connecticut. I flew down to see her and said, hey, here's your ring. I mean, it's just weird. It wasn't like there's no true like
well,
proposal
at least you didn't do it.
thing. So
At least you didn't do it over the phone or
right, yeah,
through online. Like you actually went in person. So I got to give you props for that.
yeah.
Was she pleased with your ring selection?
She was. She doesn't like jewelry at all. So, which, thank God, because some women do. She just wanted a quarter carat diamond. So that's what I got her.
I always say it's not the size of the diamond, it's the thought that counts and someone put thought into it. It doesn't
Right.
these see, I'm kind of with your wife. Like I like my earrings especially.
Yep. She's a big earring.
Most of the time I'll go buy it myself. I don't have a lot of bracelets. I don't have a lot of necklaces,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
But I don't really care about the size.
Like she likes to, I don't want to call them like tchotchke, but like she just likes just like long necklaces with like little like
Pendants
and shit, stuff like that. Yeah, like nothing. It's like costs her $5 or whatever, $5 below. Like she don't care, right? So
yeah.
she
Low
likes
maintenance. I like the low maintenance chicks. These women that have to have like huge carats and huge stones and they
I
got
don't
to
get
be
it. You're like
decked out. I don't understand it.
getting a loan to pay for your. It's like a student loan, so you never
Yeah.
get to pay it off.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, Nate just broke my heart. He said, Seattle Mariners suck. You have better luck going on a cruise. Wah, wah, wah.
For that.
Dang it. Don't you want
Sorry.
brownie points, Nate?
Sorry, man.
Anyways, well, after about 7 years on and off with your wife, what kept bringing you back to each other for one? And two, were you guys living together when it was the 7 years on and off? And what caused all of that?
So this is where I become the heel of the story. This is, but hey, it's history. I'm an open book. So we still did the long distance thing until 2003, and that's when she finally decided to move up here. And we had like flown back and forth to see each other over the years. But she decided, let me back up. 1999, I moved. I lost my job at Walgreens. I was a assistant manager there, and I had nothing else really to keep me here. And I was 22, so I'm like, you know what? I just decided I'm gonna pack up my stuff and go move to Tennessee. So I moved to Tennessee for a year and had an apartment right near Middle Tennessee State, MTSU. And she grew up in a very strict fundamentalist Baptist house with her parents, super Christian. And she wasn't allowed to move in with me. And they didn't even want her to come over my apartment unsupervised. So she would have to like sneak out when she got out of work. She worked at Kroger. So we did that for about a year. And I got homesick and didn't like living by myself. So unfortunately, I moved back to Connecticut. So fast forward another 3 years. I left in 2000. She decided she was going to move up to Connecticut. And we lived with my dad for a while, which was kind of awkward. Yeah, a little bit awkward. We're in our 20s, and but we didn't have enough money to get our own place. So I started working at a place called Ocean State Job Lot, which was like Big Lots. I don't know if you have any Big Lots out where you are.
Not to my knowledge.
They kind of bought stuff that were closed out or liquidation stuff, and they would sell it for a cheaper price. And I had worked there. Had somebody that worked in the office that took a fancy to me, and she was 8 years older than me. And hold on, God, I get my dates mixed up. I get my dates before she moved up. This is what happened. So I broke up with her so I can date this other girl for a few months, but I still we still called each other. I still talked to my wife at the time, and that didn't work out. We decided to try it again. Then she moved up. Then I actually cheated on her while we were living in my dad's house with another girl in the same company. I had switched, transferred to a different store, and this girl was all over me. Like, I don't know. I think she was a predator. She just saw like fresh meat come in. She's like, "Ooh, let's go."
And at that point, you
we were still dating.
You were still dating your now wife, right? But you didn't at that point. I think at that age, because you said you were in your young 20s, right?
22, yeah.
Yeah. In our young 20s, I don't think we learn quite yet what boundaries are when we're in a relationship to tell people
I'm just a young dude full of hormones, and I never had that much attention from girls before. So ever. I never had a serious relationship before my wife.
So did you break up with your now wife that you were dating back then? Did you break up with her to pursue this other girl so you didn't feel like you were cheating?
I did. Like we cheated a couple times first, and I wouldn't tell her where I was going. I'd say I was going out with friends and stuff like that. And
Rob.
She never knew. But then I just decided one day to tell her. So she had to move home back to Tennessee, and she left. She had one of her best friends from high school come up and drive her back, which had to be like the worst 17-hour drive of her life. Like it's just, I can't imagine what she went through, and she still resents me to this day, which I don't blame her. So yeah, I dated that girl for a year. Gosh, she was the spawn of Satan. She was so bad. She's such a bad person. It was a physical attraction, really, honestly.
So did it teach you a hard lesson about grass isn't always greener on the other side?
It did. But through the whole time, to give my wife credit, we still talked on the phone. Like we never lost touch. Like we would still, and maybe she shouldn't have. Maybe that was her own. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why after everything I did to her, she still, wanted to keep in touch with me. And
well, you have heard that saying that they say the long-lasting relationships that are meant to last go through some of the hardest trials and tribulations in life together before they realize they're supposed to be together.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go through it once you break up and you get back together. You go through it then, or you go through it while you're together.
Dad, I'm out like with some other chick, like while she's home in my dad's house. Like that's what the hell's wrong with me? Like that's, and I still wonder what the hell.
I was just going to ask you earlier when we were talking about your dad. Are there any? Because I know I've said it before on this podcast. I have zero relationship with my mother after several opportunities to rekindle that relationship. Are there personality traits of your dad's that you've taken on that you wish you didn't have?
He doesn't like to be alone. He always has to have somebody around. Like he bounced around with several different women for years until he finally found one that he's been with for the last 30 years or so, but still never married because he said he would never marry again because he didn't want to go through that. But he's one of those guys that just can't be alone. And to a point, like there are times where I just like to get away and kind of do my own thing, which is why I podcast a lot, just to give myself a break from daily life. He's a selfish guy. Both my parents are selfish in their own way. Which it is, we're all
I think we're all a little selfish in our own ways.
We're all broken.
To an extent.
And I try to remember that, like, my parents are just trying to figure out life as well. Like there's no handbook to raising a kid. There's no handbook to how you should, what happens when stuff hits the fan during your marriage. We all go through it, right? So
Nobody's perfect. We all have flaws. Every single one of us.
So, 2004, we started dating again, but she wasn't going to move up for a while. So we went through a good year of the long distance thing again, just to try to rekindle and reconnect and try to mend the fence. To which she actually started. She moved up at the end of 2004, and we got an apartment together. And her parents, still being super religious, I wouldn't say religious. They have a huge love for Christ. Religion muddies the waters. I hate that. I kind of hate the word religion anyway. They're very Christian. So they called her up on a Monday and says, "We don't like the idea of you guys living together. How would you like to come down here and get married?" And I still kind of joke about it as a shotgun wedding because we didn't have a choice. But they said they would pay for it. So we had a very, very small ceremony with just, her sister and a couple of her close friends. My parents didn't come down. They didn't have enough time, enough notice. But it was a super sweet pastor that married us. And we got married in this little old, 1800s style, church house. It was no bigger than this room. It was a place called Cannonsburg. They had moved a whole little village to a certain section of Murfreesboro where we live now, Cannonsburg Village. So it was a cool place to get married in, and yeah, then we went back to Connecticut and got our own condo after that in 2005. We got a dog. Still didn't want to have kids.
Yeah, but then at one point, life hits you with one of the biggest emotional moments, which is becoming a dad. But before that, you went through a loss. So what was that experience like for you as a husband?
So after being married for 11 years, she finally wore me down because being a selfish only child, and I didn't like kids, especially, and it probably just goes back to when, my dad moved a whole family into my house, and it's I didn't like sharing attention with somebody else. So I like the freedom of just getting up and going and doing whatever you wanted. So we went to a ton of concerts, a ton of Red Sox games, a bunch of weekend trips. But when we got our dog, that kind of got us ready for having a kid, because we had a Maltese that had started having seizures when she was 2. And the medication they put her on ended up ruining her liver and her pancreas. So we had to made her diabetic. So we had to give her insulin shots twice a day. So at that point, we couldn't really go away unless we had somebody take care of her. So my best friend, Warren, he lived nearby. He'd come over and take care of her. So that kind of gave us a trial run that, trying to take care of something and not kill it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's about 11 years of that before she finally wore me down and said, I really want to try to have a kid. And I was, God, how old was I? 40? Yeah, I think I was 40 at that time. And she's 5 years younger, so she was 35. So she's up in the point to where her clock's ticking, and she had to have she had to start soon, or you never knew what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. So she had gotten pregnant first time, which I always joke about, I can't do many things right, but I'm pretty fertile apparently. And so so first time we tried, she got pregnant, and we were supposed to have it on Thanksgiving of 2015, and she ended up having a miscarriage, which you get so excited, especially after all these years. And she always wanted a family. She always wanted her own family, even though she never pushed the issue. So it crushed her for a while. But we tried again. And got pregnant second time. So I'm 2 for 2. So say what you want. My boys know how to work.
Now, I do have one question for you because I didn't know until you said it that your dad did not handle your mom's um, loss very well, was not there for her. And seeing how your dad responded and reacted to that emotionally and physically, did that teach you a lesson on how to be there for your wife when you guys experienced a miscarriage in a lot better manner than your dad did to your mom?
I don't think it was in the back of my mind. But it's just common decency, right? You love your
Hmm.
wife.
Mutual respect.
Yeah, you should take care of her. Like
Yeah.
she's the one that had to carry it. She's the one that had to go through that. Like I did. I had the easy part. So yeah, I don't really think I thought about that. No, it's just common decency. Like
Yeah.
I don't. Again, I got to find out like why he reacted the way he did. But
Yeah. I really hope you do because I think that would help you start your journey towards getting some answers and closure with healing in
mhm.
that process so you can move forward and not have that victim card mentality from that part of your life and just move on from it. But on a lighter note, finding out you were going to be a dad again,
Yeah.
what did that moment feel like for you?
I was like, oh wow, and it was quick too. It was just a couple months later. I was like, okay, we're gonna try. We're gonna try it again. So we announced it to the family at Christmas that year. We had a little card, and we had our niece Ellie, who is my sister in law's daughter. I think she was 9 or so, 10 at the time. And she opened it up. We got one more present. And she opened it up and she read it, and without even like reading it out loud, she just went and like just started crying, like, oh my God. So she couldn't even read it. So she gave it to her grandpa,
That's cute.
and he read it out loud and says, coming August 2016, baby Francois. And my dad and his girlfriend were there. And that was one of the few times they ever came up to visit because they live in Florida now. And my dad hates to drive, and he doesn't fly. So he took like a 12, 13-hour drive up for Christmas. And the look on his face when that happened, like he had to go outside. Like he was really choked up over it. And he's like, I can't believe it. Like I'm going to be a granddad. And giving a little back history of that, my parents haven't spoken to each other since they've gotten divorced.
Oh my gosh.
It's been, do the math, I don't know, 30 something, 40 years, whatever it is. To as much as since they couldn't come to our initial wedding, 6 months later, we were going to have a second ceremony so my Connecticut family could go to it. And it was at my mom's house. And I had three other really, really good friends or two other really good friends that were co-best men with my best friend, Warren. And my dad wouldn't go because it was at her house. So he missed both of my weddings. So keep that in the back of your mind about how much I resent him. So to see how he acted when he knew he was going to be a grandfather was like, all right, maybe we finally turned the corner. He has seen her twice in the last almost 8 years.
Wait, your dad has seen his own granddaughter twice?
Twice. So once when we went down there about 3 years ago, and they got along great. And when there was a huge hurricane coming a couple years ago, they decided to drive up and stay with us because they thought they're going to get hit pretty hard. And like my daughter's very shy, but after a couple hours, she really warmed up to both of them, and we're just sitting on the couch and telling stories and playing games and stuff like that. And I was like, this is what I wanted. Like, and my mom comes like 3-4 times a year. Like, you can never doubt her love for my daughter and how much she wants to be involved in her life. And maybe she thinks it's a do-over because she screwed up with me the first time, and I don't I don't know, but at least she's involved, and they FaceTime all the time.
I don't know. I wouldn't say necessarily she screwed up with you. I think maybe at the time she was doing the best that she thought she could with the cards she was dealt.
True.
I think
Yeah.
sometimes we as humans are a little harsh on people, especially people we love or people that are family, or even best friends, because we expect the best out of them. We expect more.
Right.
But we don't really realize sometimes that other person at that time might be giving us the best that they have at that moment, because maybe they're dealing with their own stuff. So
Right. Yeah, that's a
cut,
good point.
cut your mom a little bit of slack on that one. I think maybe it's just her being a grandma, being
Yeah.
a good grandma.
No, that's fair, because he doesn't even call her.
That's insane.
Not
I don't
even just
understand that.
Like he never even just calls to talk to her on the
I
phone.
mean,
Well,
I don't have a relationship with my mother, but my mother still tries to call my son.
At least she tries, right? Like,
Yeah, she tries. Not
seeing his reaction, I thought, okay, like, I don't know. And I want to talk to him about it, but I know how my temper is, and I know how I don't want to say certain things to him, because I know, like, you know me, I'm straightforward, I'm blunt. I will tell you like it is. And I don't want to do that, because he's my dad, and we're supposed to respect our parents no matter what they do. The Bible tells us to honor your parents, for as long as your days are. Like, it's just, that's what you're supposed to do.
do me a favor. For anybody listening that might be in Rob's position, read my post from 2 or 3 days ago about accountability. You can hold somebody accountable as a family or a friend and keep your temper at bay, because holding them accountable is a better sign of caring, understanding, and mutual respect than distancing yourself ever will be. By distancing yourself, you're enabling him to continue the behavior towards you and your granddaughter, or towards you and his granddaughter,
Yeah.
which is not acceptable as a family member. So I think if you really think about what you want to say to him and maybe rehearse it a few times and talk to him. I had to do the same thing with my mom when I cut off the relationship with her. I did not let her have the thoughts that she was winning the conversation, because I did not let my temper get involved. I did not let my feelings get involved to where I started crying or got mad or angry, upset. I said what I had to say, and I said it. It set me free. It was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, and it let me begin the healing that now I do not regret my decision. I don't regret it at all. Will I regret it if she passes away or something happens? Who knows? I'll deal with that when we get to that bridge. But I really think that you would be able to benefit greatly if you hold him accountable in your own way of having a discussion with him. Because otherwise, we as humans, if we don't hold other people accountable, even holding somebody accountable does not mean you're disrespecting them. It actually is showing that you care about them and you do respect them as a person and you want the best for them. And sometimes when we're in the midst of something, we don't know that that person's actually trying to help us. We think they're being disrespectful, so therefore we get defensive, we get argumentative, we feel blindsided. We don't want to be told what we need to hear, because we want somebody to come and swaddle us and pat us on the back and tell us how great we're doing and tell us everything we want to hear and tell us we're doing great with the choices that we're making. And that's not what a person that truly loves you and cares about you does. I think that we as individuals, we always love our family. And then we have friends that become family that aren't blood. There's that saying that goes out there, family can be non-bloodline related. But at the end of the day, we as humans, we still care. You can't say that I just don't care, whatever. That's just how they are. I don't care. It's your family. So at some point, there's a little bit where you do care, a little bit down there, and you don't want to have something from personal experience. I can tell you, with when my sister passed away from suicide in 2019, I still deal with a lot of shame and guilt of things I didn't say that I should have said, ways I should have been there that I wasn't. And it's taken me a while to finally forgive myself and forgiving her so I can move forward.
Yeah.
So I would say, just so you can feel better if something were to happen to him at some point, to feel better for yourself, say the things that you need to say. Don't do what I did and not say them, thinking you're protecting the person. There's so much I should have said to my sister but I was too worried about protecting her and her feelings and not making her situation worse because I was living in fear of being that way with her.
Right.
So for yourself, just anyways.
No,
So
I appreciate that. That's very,
piece of
very
advice for anybody out there listening.
yeah.
And I wrote, I mean, when I write, I don't think people understand. Rob knows me pretty well now, but I write every day and some stuff gets shared and some stuff doesn't. Because sometimes it's just a journal for me to, I don't know if anybody out there has ever like wrote a text message because you're pissed off and you write it. And it is the most freeing thing when you delete it and you're like, oh God, I just need to get that off my chest, and you don't send it. But my writing's somewhat like that. And sometimes when I write, I reread it a couple days later. I'm like, that will actually help somebody. That could help somebody because they could be in the exact same situation that I'm sitting here feeling pity for myself for, or I'm feeling like someone might judge me. At the same time, somebody could judge me, but somebody also could find me inspirational or motivational. So I really want you to go back and read that post, Rob, because
Yeah,
I think it would help you.
I will.
But let's bring it to today because life doesn't stop testing you, obviously. You were laid off recently, and that's the kind of thing that can shake anyone. What, especially now with the way technology, everything is AI, the way the workforce is going, our country is going, everything. What went through your mind in that moment when you were laid off?
I was with the company for 9 years. I was the first employee to open up an office in the Nashville market. And we had gone through 3 different warehouses. And I'm a dispatcher by trade for freight companies. That's what I've been doing for the last 20 years. And I actually got laid off from the first job I ever had in freight after 7 years, 2 months before Christmas. So it wasn't the first time I experienced a layoff, which sucked. And I had a couple other jobs like that was with there 3 or 4 years, and companies got bought out, and I got let go again. Like, it was just a constant cycle. So being with this company for 9 years, I'm like, all right, like, I literally know everything. I've trained my bosses there to come in there. Like, I was usually the go-to guy if they ever had any questions.
It
Uh,
became a career
it became a
compared
career.
to your other jobs.
Yeah, and I'm in my late 40s. I'm like, all right, I'm probably going to retire here, because I had it, that good, and knew my job inside and out. But unfortunately, the owner of the company, Jim Crane, who owns the Houston Astros and several other businesses, was stepping down from the board, and his son Jared was taking over. And Jared, being a fresh face, pretty much cleaned out the old guard, brought in all of his buddies to fill the spots. And younger guys are number crunchers. They look at it and they say, all right, this is where we need to cut costs. This is where we need to streamline things. And they saw my salary and didn't care what I'd done for the company, didn't care that I was the first employee in that market, who's still there, who's been through, 3 different warehouses and several different managers, a million different employees. I was the only constant, and eliminate my position. So it it still sucks because I didn't think I was ever going to leave. And that was July 24th of last year, which was my best friend's birthday. So,
And you're still unemployed at the moment, right?
still employed.
And you've applied to 50 plus jobs, still applying, still pushing to make money in any way possible. You've been doing DoorDash lately, correct?
Started DoorDash last couple of weeks, just which I should have done months ago, just to get some money in. But I actually enjoy it. It's not a career. You can't make it. You can't make that much money on it, but it helps. It pays for us going out to eat and stuff like that, because we're really scrapped for money. Even though my wife makes a lot of money, we still have a lot of bills and a lot of debt, credit card debts and mortgage and cars and all that. So I'm blessed. So thank you, Jesus. I'm so blessed that she makes as much money as she does to keep us afloat. He always provides for us. He always takes care of us. I can't, for those non-believers that they won't get it. The things I've seen, the miracles that have happened couldn't be any other way than Jesus. We could do a whole nother show on the blessings that me and my family have had from Jesus. Like it blows my mind to this day. But here we are. How many months later? 6-7 months later, and I'm still out of work, but we're still making it. We're still, we're
I was going to ask you, how do you keep going when things aren't falling into place?
It's tough, especially I've had several interviews, which I'm a talker. Like I'm a closer. Like I know how to schmooze people. Like I've had really good interviews.
Well, I've done a lot of this over the last several months for you, because every time you text me and I say, this is what we're doing for the show this week. By the way, how's the job search? Oh, I have an interview, and you'll be like really upbeat, and I'm like, come on, let this be the one.
I know.
And then I'll message you.
So many people praying for us too.
Yeah, but I'll ask you. I'll say, how did it go? And you'll say, well, I don't know if it's age discrimination, if it's because my weight or AI or what's going on, but they passed me up for somebody else, or it was a no-go, or they found something different. Like,
I can't figure it out. Yeah, it is. And I've even applied for stuff I'm overqualified for. It was even like customer service jobs and stuff like that. Like,
well, I think we've talked about that on this show before, where they're like the job expectations and what they're looking for in qualifications versus the pay is so astronomically ridiculous.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Anything at this point.
Out here in Idaho, the job market is fucking terrible. Sorry, pardon my French, but like you can't even find a job that pays over $70,000, but these jobs require you to do so much. And then we have certain companies, and I won't name names. If you live around here, you know what I'm talking about. That if your skin is white, they will not hire you. And that's sad to say, but it's true, because
especially in Idaho, which is a red state, and they're still doing DI stuff.
Yeah, but there's a lot. I mean, we have a lot of agriculture here. They bring people in from everywhere by bus to work and do the jobs that they think the average American won't do because it's too dirty, or it's
that's true.
It's beneath them.
Yep. I get that. We get that here too in Tennessee.
Yeah, but I know several people. I've even dabbled in looking for a different job because I'm getting older and my job's very physical, and I'm starting to feel the ailments of it. 7 years into retail, and every job I've had in retail has been really physical and early mornings, ungodly early mornings.
I got out of retail because I got hurt. I had to go to a desk job, and that's where I went to transportation. So yeah, I did all that. I did food and retail for years.
Yeah, and retail is not for the weak. But I can't even. I have a job, and it's not that I don't love my job, but even trying to find another job that's streamlined out of retail, making the same amount I'm making, because let's face it, Nate and I were talking about this the other day, which is the job expectations are through the roof. The pay is lower, but the inflation keeps going up. So we really can't afford, nobody can really afford to take a pay cut with less, like more than $15,000, sometimes $10,000 less than what they're making right now per year, because we're barely making it at what we're making. Because right now, if you look at it, if you ask ChatGPT, if anybody's a ChatGPT fan, what you're making now, how much equivalent that would have been to making 10 to 15, 20 years ago, we're making less.
Yeah.
So for example, okay, I'm in retail. If you know what I do for a living, you know what companies I work for. I'm not going to say it on here. We were told when inflation went up that, oh, well, it's going to feel like you're getting a raise. Mind you, I make 7% commission. Okay. So we're getting a raise. So the first few months it was like, oh God, look at our checks. This is awesome. Okay. Then you start feeling the impact of cost of living going up and everything getting more expensive. And then it's like, you're not getting a raise. I'm actually making less now than I was a year and a half ago on this very same route I'm on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the job market, I'm going to tell you, Rob, just keep going. I firmly believe that something's going to happen for you at some point. I just don't know what it is. I know a couple other people going through the same thing. One has a job, not happy, looking, can't find anything. I mean, miserable, but I keep saying something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. And then I know somebody doesn't have a job. They've been looking. They apply and they're like, they look at the people where they go apply and they're like, how are these people getting, these people work here and they're hired and I am way more qualified and they won't even take a second glance at me. Like, so
It's
I know,
true.
I understand what you're going through. It's for anyone listening who feels stuck right now. What would you say to them, Rob?
Again, pray on it. Like you know, even if you're a non-believer, just ask God for help. It's literally the only thing that helps me get through it. And a lot of people are in the position I am, where my wife makes enough to support us. There's so many young Americans now that can't even buy a house because the American dream is gone. It's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely gone. You used to be able to have kids and plant your roots and get a house with a white picket fence and all that. The American dream, and it's the greed in corporate America has just gotten so out of hand, whether it's interest rates or investors just buying up housing developments, and flipping houses and selling them for more than they're worth. Like it's stupid. So yeah, for anybody else that's going in a spot right now where it's hard to find a job, try Uber Eats, try DoorDash. Look, DoorDash will screw you any chance they can get. They don't pay a lot. You kind of have to pick and choose which as an independent contractor, you can pick and choose which orders you want to take. And they try to scare you with like lowering your acceptance rate and all that. You're going to miss out on all this if you don't accept it. That's BS. That's just scare tactics they've implemented now. But it's literally better than nothing. People say like, why don't you go work at McDonald's or Burger King? I could, but I'm almost 50 and I'm obese and I can't stand on my feet for that long. My back it kills me. Literally, even cooking dinner, it sucks. So it's something that I've done to myself that I have to deal with. So I can't stand on a concrete floor, for even part time.
Well, if anybody has anything to say to your comments just now, I'm pretty fit I'll be 43 next week. And I work on concrete floors and I'm up and down out of a 14 freaking foot box truck.
Mm-hmm.
And every morning my back hurts and my knees and my ankles have started to hurt when I get home at the end of the day because I'm pushing like 14 to 16,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
And that's without going for a walk. Now that it's starting to get nicer, I'm going to start walking.
Yeah.
So for the people that have to say like, well, you're overweight, eat healthier, exercise, take care of yourself. Sometimes it has nothing to do with that. Our bodies are not meant to stand for a long durational period of time. I mean,
True.
they're just not meant to do that. It's a lot of gravity pressure on your bones and your joints, especially when you're older. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from. But through all of this, I do want to say you've kept showing up creatively, podcasting, YouTube, multiple shows.
Yep.
What is it about creating that keeps pulling you back? Why not quit?
I love it. I absolutely love it. If I could do it for a living, I absolutely would.
So I was going to tell you, maybe I'm just saying, we are not doing this show for money at all. If it ever becomes monetized or we get 1,000 subscribers or we get so many view hours or whatever, great.
Mhm.
Have at it. I'm not looking for that in the end. I would love that. But maybe this podcasting, YouTube, multiple show things is what is going to put you on a catapult to whatever you're meant to do in life with your purpose. And maybe it will bring you some financial stability.
I hope so. One of our past guests actually messaged me and wants me to create a show for them from the ground up and said they would actually compensate me for it. So that should launch next month. I don't want to say who it was or say anything
I know
else.
who it is.
You know who it is.
And I'm
but
happy for you.
yeah,
Because
that'd be huge.
yeah, that would be huge. And I don't compensate you, just to throw that out there, everybody. Rob does this all on his own.
Yeah, I don't
So
ask or expect it. It
that's
is
why I take it upon myself to do as much work with the show as possible with booking guests, because Rob's got all of his other own stuff going on as well. So
and we've gotten straight up 5 monetized. We're over 1,000 subs, but we're not making much off of ad revenue. But Todd's actually looking to get into merch, selling shirts and hats and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's coming down the road. But
we'll get there someday. I'll need help with that because I am not savvy when it comes to that crap.
This has been a passion project of me, whether this or my bowling show. I've had several other shows in the past, wrestling shows. I've been doing this for 7 years now. Between that and my YouTube channel, Rad Rob Entertainment, where I stream video games, and I've got thousands of videos there. I'm up to 900 something subs on that, so I'm close to getting that one monetized as well. And it took 7 years to do it, but I mean, I just originally, I'm like, all right, everybody's doing it. I can make money on that. I love doing that. You can ask my mom. Ever since I was a kid, I always had even just a tape recorder in my hand, like just taping myself, pretending to be Mean Gene Okerlund and doing wrestling stuff. Back when I was a kid, and whenever somebody had a video camera, I was a ham. I hammed it up. I was always right in front and center. So and as I've gotten older, my voice has gotten deeper, and like, oh, you have a radio voice now. I'm like,
my boyfriend loves your voice. He's like,
huh?
Rob didn't talk much tonight. I kind of miss his voice. Or like when you were sick, he's like, oh, I missed Rob being on there. I'm like, you have a man crush.
Well, that's thanks, Nate.
He says you have a radio voice. He loves
I've
it.
had several people say that, and I'm like, I never really think about it, but and I do kind of put on a different voice, like when I'm reading.
Dustin.
Hey, Dustin, what's going on? Like if I'm reading something, I end up talking like this, and my voice gets deeper, and it's like I do kind of. It's funny, you ever see like George Carlin, like he was the hippy dippy weatherman, or he did radio, and he put on a different speaking voice than he normally did.
Yeah.
Which is, it's just weird. So you kind of learn to do that. But I was always recording myself and listening back. I'm my own biggest fan. You could ask my wife.
You should be your own biggest fan and your own cheerleader. Your biggest cheerleader should be yourself, because when nobody else believes in you, you should believe in yourself, right?
Exactly. So this has just been a natural thing for me to do. Like my mom and friends always said back in the day, you should be on the radio. And I almost went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting and got a degree.
Do you believe, I think we've talked about this before on this podcast, do you believe everything happens for a reason?
Absolutely.
I do.
Especially
so I think
Christ, everything happens. There's no coincidences. Like whatever happens, and we do have free will, but for the most part, it's God's plan, which is why I'm always still continuing like to be positive about not having a job. Like he has a job for me. Everything happens in his time.
Yeah.
Just have to be faithful, and it will happen. So everything absolutely happens for a reason. And
from my perspective as your friend and co-host, however we say that, with a women's instinct, I believe that you possibly got laid off to follow your passion and what you love doing, and to, like I said before, catapult it forward to something more monetarily that you're a natural at. You've told me before, and I wanted to say thanks, Nolan, for your comment. I just saw that about I should be a therapist. I've heard that before. It's not the first time I've heard that. And to write a book. I need to write a book too. I just need
you're a bestseller, I'm telling you.
I need to hunker down on that. I've been told that for like 15 years now. Yeah. But I think like even when we started this podcast, I didn't realize how passionate and how invested I would be into it. And that's why when we had a few, I don't know, 5-6 episodes ago, where I had a couple people blatantly tell me some hurtful things about why they think I'm doing the podcast. And I said on the podcast that night and made some posts the next day that why I do it. It's because I'm not doing it for attention. I'm not doing it for likes or comments or look at me gloating. I'm doing it to try to make a difference and help people, because that is always, if you truly know me, anybody knows me, I've always wanted to try to make a difference and help other people through things that I've been through in life. And the older I'm getting, I've become more vulnerable about telling my story and being truthful about both, I would say, failures and triumphs and through trial and error, I just really want to make a difference and try to help people, because we all go through things in life, and some aren't as readily available to be open about their life as others are. So I don't think people realize that how hurtful their comments can be when they say things to people about
warriors. Anybody
yeah,
can say whatever they want behind a phone or a keyboard and
yeah,
not expect any repercussions.
yeah.
Just so
So I just say do follow your heart and do what makes you happy and see where it goes. But right now I want to switch it up a little.
Sure.
So as everybody knows that watches the show, we always play rapid fire towards the end. So I want you to think. You've sat through a few of these now.
Yep.
I don't want you to think. I just want you to answer. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Connecticut or Tennessee?
Oh, Tennessee.
Favorite bowling ball of all time?
A Teal Rhino Pro.
Okay.
Love that ball.
Wrestling goat?
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. Okay. One word to describe your younger self.
Idiot.
I think most of us were idiots when we were young. One word to describe your life right now.
Blessed.
Your dream job? I think we kind of already answered that.
Yeah.
What's your go-to comfort food? And you better not freaking say Popeyes.
It's not. I really actually don't even go there a lot. It's become such a meme on Straight Up 5 now that I just play along with it.
Yeah.
I even bought like a custom made Popeyes hat just to wear on the show. Favorite comfort food? That's tough because I'm such a foodie. Olive Garden, Zuppa Toscana.
Ooh.
I'm a big soup guy.
So you and Brunswick would have an Olive Garden date if available.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Right.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Stupid people.
Oh, God.
Believer, I'm sorry.
We are living in your pet peeve then, because there's a lot of stupid people
my
out there.
carnal side still hates stupid people because I feel like I'm always the smartest guy in the room. And that's not to be facetious. I truly believe that, like, there's so many dumb people in the world.
Yeah.
I happen to see them on a daily basis.
What's your favorite memory with your daughter?
There's so many. That's a fantastic question. Not just on one particular occasion, but whenever I would come home from work and she'd already be home from school and she hears the garage door open, and before I could even get out of my car, she's running up to me like, "Daddy," and just gives me the biggest hug ever. Like,
that's cute.
As a father, like, there's nothing better than that. Like, it's just, and people that don't have kids will never ever get it. And I know this sounds cliche, but you just don't know until you have and look, there's some really crappy parents that doesn't apply to. But man, you want to talk about somebody that changed my life. Hold on, let me show you. I got a couple pictures that I put up here.
Did you see that? Or is that just me? Oh, that's cute.
That's my buddy. That's my girl.
It's cute. Aw.
I love the kids so much. Which my wife also resents me podcasting a lot because it takes time away from them and from her. So trust me, I got plenty of flack over that.
Yeah. Did you when you were talking just now, was it me that glitched out or?
I don't know. I wasn't.
Oh, it said, oops, connection loss on my end and everything went out and then it came back. So
that's weird. I don't know. I didn't see anything.
Okay. Anyways, let's keep going. One thing you'd say to your wife right now.
Sorry, I'm such an idiot. Sorry, I neglect you all the time. I'm honest. I'm a shitty husband.
No, we all are shitty humans sometimes. Let's just be honest.
I'm still very selfish. I still don't give her the attention or affection that she deserves.
Okay, so take what you just said, knowing that, and do better.
Yeah, I have
solved. There you go. If your life had a title, what would it be?
Rad.
Got it.
Which might actually, it's funny. I never gave myself that name.
Yeah.
I did DDP yoga for several years. and somebody in the community just gave me that name, and I'm like, Rad Rob. And I love alliteration. I'm a big alliteration whore.
Yeah.
So I'm like, RR, Rad Rob. I love it. And that's became my whole brand. And yeah, the rest is history on that.
Well, on a side note, Dustin Zenner, if you're still listening, I'm going to be reaching out to you because I want to have CTD bowling on the show at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's
Love
got to be a
stranger.
must.
Yes.
We're going to have custom thumbs on in a couple weeks,
Mhm.
and I've been talking to a few other bowlers, female bowlers, professional bowlers, but right now they're getting geared up to start the PBA Tour. So
It's a tough time of the season. Even with getting Tim Mack on the show, he's busy with Storm on the
yeah, a lot
show.
of the folks not gonna be able to get on until end of summer, beginning of fall. So it's okay. We got guests lined up. But all right, let's land this show and close it out. You've been through a lot from being a miracle baby to everything life has thrown at you. What are you most proud of in your life?
What am I most proud of? I can't take the credit for it, but getting saved in 2009 and accepting Christ as my savior was the greatest thing I did, because through that and through my wife's dedication to Christ, my daughter accepted Jesus last year at 7 years old and got baptized. So that's the legacy I can leave behind. Like, I love doing YouTube content. I love doing this podcast and all my other ones. So in a way, that is part of my legacy. I'm also trying to be a better person and not cuss as much. So that's why I started Liberty or Death, which is a conservative Christian podcast, which we do talk a lot about politics, but a lot about faith as well. So I'm trying to, and maybe that's my calling, is getting into an online ministry through podcasts. I really think that's the direction the Lord wants me to go in as well, and having clean shows, because my kid can't watch Straight Up Five because all the cussing we have on the show. But with Todd, it's getting a lot better. With Johnny and Ocho, it was a mess. But my kid's my legacy. That's the greatest thing I could ever leave this world, in raising her correctly, to be a well respected person, and believer in Christ, and hopefully finds. We pray every night for a husband for her, a Christian husband for her, that that she can find. And yeah, I forgot what the question was.
You're good. Well, thanks, Rob, for being a guest last minute on the show. It was actually your idea to do that, and I really appreciate you, because trying to scramble. I mean, I tried really hard to get guests that are already lined up for later in the summer to come on. I tried just randomly reaching out to people, and it's so hard to get something last minute. So I appreciate you coming up for the idea for you to be my guest.
It just kind of popped in my head, like, you know what?
Well, you interviewed me episodes 1, 2, 3. So
Sure.
if anybody doesn't know my story or is just new to this podcast, go check out episode 1, 2, and 3 to let you know a lot more about me. So when we bring up things randomly throughout episodes from here on out, you'll know what we're talking about. But next week we have Stetson Crane is going to be on the show.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, I know, isn't it? It's really cool.
Is he a cowboy or something? Like, he should be a cowboy, or so. I don't know.
He doesn't look like a cowboy.
Okay. Just the name then, I guess.
But I met him through my boyfriend with skydiving at Skydown in Caldwell, Idaho. And Stetson is a wingsuiter. So he not only is a skydiver, but he has a wingsuit that he skydives in. And he's done base jumping, and he's got a couple scary stories that I'm going to have him tell. But Stetson is an entrepreneur, adventurer, and storyteller who believes that the same mindset that helps someone jump out of an airplane, so he said, can also help them build a business and face life's hardest moments. So I'm really excited to have Stetson on the show next week and chat with him. And next week we'll chat with him, and it's on my birthday.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to keep the show to an hour next week, because I want to celebrate my birthday a little bit. So anyways, we're going to have Stetson on, and got some, again, great guests lined up. But if you guys have anybody that would like to be on the show or you think would be a good fit for the show, let me know, because as I've always said before, everybody has a story. So even if you think you don't have one, you probably do. Yeah, just reach out to us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell button so you're notified, turn the notification on so you're notified every time we have an episode coming up and you don't miss one. We're available on 14 audio podcast platforms. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Facebook, we have the private Facebook group page. And then we also have the public podcast page now as well, which that public podcast page, Rob, is taking off.
It is.
Like, I almost have 300 followers on there in less than, I think I set it up like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so
cool.
it is cool. And we're up to 251 subscribers on YouTube. So it's slowly growing with every episode that we have. Again, if you're listening and you're going to be a future guest on this episode, or if you're someone that listens to this at some point, because I do have people I reach out to and they're like, what's your podcast about? So I just send them the link. And if they have something in common with somebody we've had on before, they listen to it. Deandra Asbatty yesterday listened to an episode we had with Josie Barnes, and she's agreed to come on the show at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So, yeah, the podcasts, I always tell people it's my podcast, but it's your episode. It's your show. So the more you help promote, it not only gets your story out there and gets people connected to the podcast, but it helps us all full circle. So I can't be doing all the promoting all the time for my own podcast episodes. We need the help, people. So yeah, you can find us on all the platforms. Again, this episode will be available for restream as soon as we conclude being on air. The audio versions will be available on Thursday. And yeah, we'll see everybody next Tuesday at the same, what do we want to say, Rob? The same great place, the same great time. I don't want to say anything's awful anymore.
It is.
I used to say like the same awful place, the same great time, the same great place, the same awful time. But now we're just going to make everything great. Everything's great. We're just going to make it till we make it
great again.
Yeah, make podcasts great again. Oh, Lord. Anyways, well, thank you all for whoever tuned in live. I really appreciate you guys following the live stream and for all the questions and comments. It's much appreciated. Again, if you have anybody that would want to be on the podcast, please reach out or have them reach out to us. We absolutely love having bowlers and we love having veterans on the show, or anybody else for that matter, that has a story. So thanks again, Rob, for everything that you do for this podcast. I really do appreciate you and spreading the word.
And thank you for letting me tell my story. Really.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. No problem. And please listen to my advice.
I will.
I promise you it will help. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. We will see you all next Tuesday.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.